be all set up. So last week, I sent a pull request about formatting for the help output. And I did that right at the end and didn't look at the failed lints, because of course there is a failed lint somewhere, like trailing white space and rough format. So let me fix that real quick. Of course I haven't really looked at
I'm
any
wondering,
of this. Yes?
The pre-commit has this autofix feature, but I guess it must have been not intentionally not enabled in this Python repo, right? So yeah, if pre-commit autofix is enabled, then the pre-commit app makes the commits in your topic branch that fix those errors that you get.
Well,
So
that
it
would
should
be
automatic.
great if you can convince people to enable that thing on CPython.
And since this is a public project, public repo, this is not a paid service, because otherwise it's a paid service.
Yeah, let me see where I am. Oh, dog grammar snippets. So it has been updated on GitHub, so let me pull. And then I need... Yeah, the problem is this linter is specific to the doc subdirectory. Other ones might have different linters. So I need to run rough check with fix. Not rough fix, but check with fix, and I don't think I need to select anything.
The directory should be
yeah,
doc.
it's I am in doc, so it should be tools here.
Okay.
So what did it fix? This line, and this import should be there, and there's an undefined named element, of course. Oh, right, I'm on Python 3.4, so we're using the new feature where the type annotations aren't actually evaluated until you ask for it, which means if I run this with Python and there's an undefined named here, it's not a problem. But of course it...
PEP 563, I guess.
Yeah, it has a PEP number. I'd like to refer it to the as with the feature name, because I don't remember PEP numbers by heart. But it's the PEP for postpone evaluation of annotations.
Which will be superseded by PEP 649, and more specifically PEP 749.
749.
Because yes, it's an implementation by Zilstra.
Oh, it supplements. Okay, yeah. So different evaluation of annotations. That's the feature.
Yeah.
So this element is not like, it's not necessary to import anything for this element, but of course rough does not like it, and
can you like scroll up to this? Oh, okay. Why is it not necessary to import it? Because it's below, or
Because Python doesn't evaluate the expressions until you ask for the value.
Yeah, but if you are typing it as element, you need it somewhere.
Oh,
like
well, you can.
Seen in USD, right?
You can do defu a blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware,
blah.
but it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that if you're using something as type annotation, you have to somehow tell the type checker where it is.
The type checker, yes. But I didn't run the type. I didn't run the type checker.
So you have to import it somewhere. It doesn't have to be at runtime. You can import it in type checking, right? But
yeah, and I think Hugo needs Hugo already said.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Which element? But I don't think it's the XML DOM minidom element. Is it? I probably need to look into how Sphinx does this.
Yeah, text translator class.
Like what kind of element is this? No, wait, it has this attribute grammar snippet content, which is only set
if text translator is annotated,
it's
then
only
maybe
set in grammar snippet, and it's set on this grammar snippet class, which is this node litter block. Which is a docutils node. So it's probably some kind of docutils element. Do we have any other uses of element? Nodes element. Oh, it's just nodes element.
It is docutils.nodes element. It is docutils.nodes. Yes, exactly from here.
So
I checked it by checking the source of
docutils
of
nodes.
text.
Okay, so it's just nodes element.
Text
all right.
builder.
There we go. Found one error. No such. Oh, now I need to the docs tools. Okay. So that should be it. Now I can look at Hugo's review. So there is missing space. I hope this fixed that.
Yeah, it's fixed, I think. You can run rough format for what it's worth. Rough format, I mean.
Well, that topics.py. Oh, but this. This file is auto-generated.
Then it can be excluded from format checking, I guess.
I don't think any format checker checks this. It's just Hugo's review. It's interesting that it gets generated with this space at the end. That's let's see how that gets done. What is it? Line 5607. Yeah, there's a space here, and that comes from the format specification me language. Huh. No, wait. Format examples. So this is for format strings, format string syntax, which comes from somewhere. String.rst.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do, but Hugo messaged, sent a message in the live stream channel that, you know, about that formatting, that it's a bug introduced by a refactor of the tooling that creates the bytecode topics. I'm not sure. And Adam is looking into it.
Wait, where? Where did you see that message?
The live stream channel, our voice channel.
Oh. Wait, Hugo is watching. Hello, Hugo. this doc test thingy. Ah, it's a bug introduced by the refactor. So there's two kinds of toolings actually. There's PyDoc topics, which is this one that I've changed, and I guess it also changes. I guess it also can come from Sphinx itself. So if this space is generated on the Sphinx side, you would have probably seen that on the release, right? Yeah, I don't think we can do anything here. Just reset class text builder. So yeah, it's probably on the Sphinx side, and not much we can do about it in this pull request. All right, next one. Oh, extra line. The linter fixed that. Yeah, this is not XML.mini dump element. It's a different one. And move this before. Yeah. Raf can do that for me because I don't really know what order they should be in. So this should now fix most of the review comments and hopefully pass the lint as well. And maybe I should regenerate the PyDocTopics.py as well. How do you do that? I think I forgot how to do that. It should be in my bash history. Make PyDocTopics. Oh, and then copy something over. Let's see, Sphinx is really slow today. remove all its caches and try again. And what's different now? Only this. Okay, so the space stays in. And I wonder if it's there in the main branch. Let's see. The lint pass. Oh, it has conflicts with the main branch. Alright, let's merge in the main branch. And since the conflict is in an auto-generated file, then I should be able to just regenerate the file and check that in. What? No, I don't want that. Oh, there were some build warnings treated as errors, I guess. So the copy didn't happen. Alright, so what's different now? Auto generation is different. Yeah, so I guess we can put that in. And try again. Hopefully the linter will not complain this time. So now what changes in this PyDoc data topics? Yeah, it should just be the formatting of the expressions. And this line. Huh. So it is caused by this pull request. That's weird. So what can I try? I can try to go on main. Git switch main and rebuild that file and see if that change is still there. Oh, I guess I need to remove all the caches there as well. Oh, and I just noticed Discord muted itself for some reason. So if you've been saying anything at all, I haven't heard it for the past
Yeah.
something. Sorry. Were you saying something?
I mean,
weird.
I think I was about to start complaining that in the perfect world, there could be no things like auto-generated on in files because you can just use stat. But this was off topic, so I guess it's good that I didn't like.
Oh, this one. Yeah, the date is the date is not that important. Yeah, I did some change recently in some other file where instead of the date, it puts in the git commit hash.
All right. Yeah.
So where was that? I think that was somewhere in SSH. Okay, maybe I won't find it today. Okay, so yeah. Do you want me to remove this manually? I could also not change this file. And pull request and leave it to the release process. I guess if Hugo's watching, we can get a comment right now. So let's check if the line was added for PyDoc translator. Yeah. 2 blank lines now. And lint is... Oh, this is linted.
There we go.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so... line... Does this show the line name?
It's from the auto-generated one.
Yeah.
Can you, like, change the thing that generates it?
Yeah.
Oh, here.
Well, I have to do it to pass the CI.
One day I was like, I remember having an idea that auto-generating code could have an interface. Like, imagine, and it's not really about, it's not really like raw AST or CST that you are like creating nodes, and then you're like unparsing, let's say, the syntax tree. I was thinking about more high-level routines that would like allow you to auto-generate code without hard coding that auto-generated code. But I don't think it was compelling enough to ever pursue that idea. But yeah, it's fun to think about many things. So like you could like write create class, and it would make a class, like create an AST, a bunch of AST nodes that would mean your class. So like high level interface for generating code. I
Not
guess there are
sure I
things like that
follow.
already.
Not sure I follow. I mean, if you want to create a class, you can write a class statement. So
No. Oh, I mean, no. Like when you're auto-generating, if you want to, I mean, the idea was to write a bunch of routines that would behave kind of like a graph. I mean, kind of like mutating a graph. And the idea was that you can semantically say what will be in your code without writing it. So like and that would be like dependent on some conditions you already have. So it's kind of like writing a transpiler. You're not building the code using syntax tree nodes. You have high level routines to do that. So you can like do if blah blah blah, then call function create class, and that function create class will create all the syntax nodes for that. And otherwise, for instance, do this and this, which would allow you to like create maybe a lot of boilerplate using maybe some kind of imperative or declarative code, and not necessarily just putting hard-coded snippets and then maybe interpolating them. So that was the idea generally.
It seems to me that you don't really have to do this in Python, because you can just define the classes themselves in if blocks.
I mean, and even if you like you can even in such a script you can define the class, and if you want to like copy it to another file, the class definition, you can do inspect get source and then and then just paste it into file from the same like script. So you can have a script that has class blah blah blah, and then inspect get source that class, so, and then write it to a file, which is pretty funny, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of problem you're trying to solve.
This was generally, as I said before, it's not a compelling idea. But the problem I think I was solving is that you need to generate a lot of boilerplate, and you don't want to have hard-coded, and you don't want to have hard-coded snippets, because a lot of things are like moving parts, and you need some kind of a lot of decision making in how that code will look like. So you have to create it like manually using the syntax tree. So you cannot just describe it with a bunch of hard-coded snippets. What you'll generate, I mean. And the question then is, why not just write that code then? Well, because that's a lot of boilerplate.
Okay,
so that was the problem.
Don't think I follow. I guess I
Sorry.
would need a
I don't
concrete
know.
example of the problem.
Yeah, I could show. Yeah, maybe next time.
Maybe.
It's kind of off topic, so.
I guess.
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah.
try
All right.
later.
So back on topic. I think the linter is fine with this now. The tests are running, but we didn't change really any code. Hopefully, so hopefully this will pass. And meanwhile, we can move back. Actually, let me open this in a new window, and I'll put it on one of my other monitors and watch if there's any red checks. Meanwhile, we can go back to what were we doing? I think the token documentation, wasn't it? Blaze, I think you were here last time.
Yes, I was.
And we were looking at the token documentation. So how did that go? Only generate docs for literal tokens and change docs for to list table. So that was back in January, 3 weeks ago. No wonder I don't remember. So my changed files are generate token, token RST, and token list.inc. So let's see what those do, both for myself and for anybody who wasn't here. So there's doc build generate token, which generates a lot of stuff from grammar/tokens. So let's see grammar/tokens. So these are the tokens used by Python's grammar. There's a lot of tokens which just correspond to a piece of literal text. Those are the operators and the delimiters. And then there's some that are like a bit more special or don't have any text, like new line or dedent. There's a bunch of very special ones like fstring start or encoding. And then there's documentation for them, which is currently auto-generated. So there's token.rst, which, let's look at the current documentation. I think that's this one. So it says the token constants are blah 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 blah, and this part is auto-generated from the list. And for the text-based ones, it says token value for the text, and for the interesting ones, it doesn't really have any information to show here. So the way that's documented is there's an empty definition, and then there's an extra definition that's put in the RST file. Well, I guess we need to see the source here. So the token constants are there. You can't see it in the rendered thing, but there's the included file, and then there's comment, no index, which means Sphinx won't give a warning about the duplicate definition, and then the documentation for comment is right here, which isn't ideal, because now if you link from anywhere to the comment token, you'll get the empty one instead of the one that actually has the
very
information. Yeah, so I'm trying to change that, and the way I'm changing that is the generate token script will now check token.rst and see if it has definitions for everything that needs documentation, which is all the tokens that aren't just literal text, right?
What is it generated from? Like, is it from grammar
This is the
tokens?
source.
Where are the descriptions coming from?
Well, the descriptions are currently in token.rst. Like these ones.
Okay, so
those are written in the documentation. Right. So my idea of how to fix this is only have the text based tokens in the generated file as a table, so it's compact because they are not really interesting. They're just names for pieces of text. And all the other ones will need to be handwritten in the RST file, and the generate token file will check this token.rst, and anything it doesn't generate needs to be in there. And I think I got rather far in there. So let's see, there's make RST, which will generate the file I just showed, which uses a list table. Easier to generate than the normal restructured text table with the all those. And it should also check, so has handwritten docs, so it'll open the RST file here. It'll have a regular expression, and it will remember all the tokens with handwritten docs. It'll exclude non-token constants because this end marker, which is a token, looks exactly like this end tokens, which is just a content for the number of tokens we have, or exact token types, which is some kind of dict. And then it will error out if there are any differences between those sets. Right. Generate token. How do you run that? So it's in the make file. Let's see. Regen token. So if I run make regen token, it'll make everything, of course, and then generate tokens. Okay. Now if I remove one of these, it'll say documented non-existent tokens, exact token types, which is why we excluded it. If I put something extra in here, it'll say undocumented token blah blah, and if that becomes a token with a value, it should add it to the list. So that was my manual testing of the code. It looks like it's working correctly, and all that's left to do now, let's check the commits here. Only generate docs for literal tokens, so stuff is removed from token list.inc. That's the auto-generated thing. I added stuff manually that needs a comment. If there was a comment before, I moved it from the like extra section. I should check here that we don't have the no index entries anymore. Nope, no fake entries anymore. And then the generate token.py script has a changed documentation. It will use regular expressions. Make RST takes an extra file. Does the logic we already looked at. And the interesting thing here is how it's run. So if I look at main, it will so when it's run, it'll call main with positional arguments taken from the command line. Main takes one positional argument op, and the rest are put in args. It uses op to find the global function to call, and then it calls it with the arguments. In file in the command line case is just set to grammar tokens. So the make function would be make RST, and that's this. If I just add a new argument that can be positional, it'll become a command line argument. And here it has a default value. So that should be all good. Right, back to the changes. Change docs for the literal tokens to a list table. Right, so this now makes a list table instead of saying data right shift blah blah blah. So before we had this, and now if I build the documentation, wait a bit. Right, there's now little table for the tokens. These are all link targets, so anything that links to them, you can just see this. And the interesting tokens are here, and what all that's left is to document them. So the rest of this session will probably be documenting tokens. I guess we can also order them. ENDMARKER. Marks the end of input. And maybe we can like insert cross references to the grammar here. Let's see. Would it be useful to reference, what should we reference? Language reference, top level components.
Exactly.
So but they don't have end markers yet. By the way, your mic is really soft. Is that just...
Oh, it's soft? Okay.
Yeah, now it's a bit better.
Well, I have to move. It has a sweet spot. Is it better?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Now I can hear you well. Okay, so in the actual grammar file, the top level components have the end marker here. Here they don't. So I guess we should also change this documentation to match what's in the actual grammar file. Right?
Yeah,
so
because it's a part of the rule.
There's file interactive eval, and whoops, and at the end of eval and at the end of file is ENDMARKER, and at the end of statement new line there's also ENDMARKER. And I wonder now if I should reference the branch with all the auto-generated snippets and copy from there.
Well, it has the oh, I see, new line is the ENDMARKER. Okay.
That's, yeah, the actual grammar is a bit different. So this is from the branch where we auto-generated stuff, and the actual grammar for file is statement star ENDMARKER, which is quite different from this. Yeah. And I assume statement already includes new lines or compound statement, and like if statement list new line, and statement list as simple statements. Can there be a new line? How much do we copy this? So instead of file input, the actual grammar has statement star ENDMARKER. We can also change this or we can merge in the current branch where this is already changed to grammar snippet. So merge in the main branch. This is now a grammar snippet, and I can just change it to file statement star ENDMARKER. So in the actual grammar, it is statements ENDMARKER, and statements is statement plus, and the statements are optional, which makes it statement star. So that's correct still. Then we can change, we can look at the interactive one, which changes to, let's put it in first, interactive. So compound, let's leave in the old one first. So compound statement new line, or simple statements, or a new line ENDMARKER, right? So there's statement list, which I guess simple statements is a simple statement new line, or the statement list followed by a new line. So statement list followed by a new line is correct here, and the ENDMARKER is an extra option here. Okay, so if I rearrange this, simple statements, I guess, will contain a new line. And simple statements maybe is reference, oh, it's reference from statement new line here. So maybe we need to include simple statements in here. We include simple statements. Here, or change simple statements somewhere else. So there's statement list. Statement list is basically the same as simple statements, I guess. Statement list. Yeah, statement list is well, simple statements is a better name for STMT list, which is a semicolon separated list of statements. So for now, let's use the old name, and the old name is not optional, I guess. How does it look here? Simple statements. Statement can be simple statements. Compose statement or simple statements or a new line or end marker. So I guess we need to look at what includes the new line. So statement list here itself does not include the new line. Simple statements in the actual grammar do include the new line, I assume. Yeah, those do have the new line at the end. So we need to. So I don't really want to change the definition of STMT list in the docs right now. So I just use that definition, STMT list, which doesn't have the new line, so let's follow it like this. So it's either STMT list followed by a new line or a new line, which means I don't have the new line to have the new line as an extra option here. Right, so there. An end marker is a valid option here. So I think this is the right way to go. And I want to link to the stop level from the token documentation. Oh, did I change anything? Oh, right. The grammar that uses this, I guess, is used in top-level grammar rules. How about that? Right? The name is an identifier. Do we explain identifiers somewhere in the documentation? Identifiers and keywords right here. So how do we link to that? Identifiers. Right. Nice. Yeah, I think numbers will be in the same yeah. Oh, numbers, okay. You can see that this documentation was written a long time ago where nobody thought about disambiguating the refs, right? And this is a numeric literal. And we have string, which should be a string literal, right? Yeah, strings. A string or byte literal. Yeah, strings. How are strings tokenized? If I have a double quoted string with a slash inside, no, I should echo this, right? Pass it on the standard input. Yeah. escape sequences, right? What's the verb for what you do with escape sequences?
Interpolate?
Interpreted. Okay, let's use that. So is the value the correct term? Or would that be something like text? Maybe I need to look at tokenize .rst. So tokens, token type, token string. Token string, right. Token string. Like I want to say something like the token string matches how the string appears in the source, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
The token string is represented as it appears in the source?
Right.
Token string. The token string is not formatted, or
right.
it's not interpreted. Okay. So that it matches. Okay. The prefix and the full characters. Escape sequences output. Okay.
Something like that. Right, then we go on to new line, which is a terminating value. Terminating new line, sorry. As opposed to a non-terminating new line, which I'll move right here. So they're next to
Yeah, then the contrast.
other. And I see these all start with token value. So let's continue that. Of 4 indicate, that's a long word.
Do you want to say that indicates the end of line?
end of a logical line of Python code.
Beautiful.
And the logical line, we can link that. Right, there's a section for logical lines, which hopefully, yeah, has a reference we can link to. The end of a logical line of Python code. Right.
Oh, Adam fixed the thing that he was talking about last week.
And here we should say something like this. Parser ignores NL tokens. Right, it'll also ignore type ignore and type comment tokens. Hopefully. And so next up. Sorry, you said Adam fixed the issue?
Yeah. He just
Perfect.
sent a little update.
Nice. So it'll appear in the next Sphinx version, or was it fixed in
Apparently.
Python itself?
It's in this. Well, he put in a link to the Sphinx doc.
Ah,
It's in your Peter Stream channel.
yeah, I don't think I want to click that because it seems when I click somewhere in Discord it has a tendency to mute itself.
Sure, that's okay.
But maybe I can log in
Maybe
in a different window.
You could copy the link and then open it in the browser.
Oh, there we go. They fixed in Sphinx. Of production list, hard coding and translators. Nice. So, ooh, there's a lot of stuff here. And how does it? What's changed? Does this change all the backends? Right, maybe I want to look at what changed in the documentation, as I probably won't understand all the internals. I don't think anything changed here. There's just a new link. This was just reformatted. Makes it kind of hard to see what's changed.
Oh, do you want to look instead at the differences, the files changed in the under writers? Oh, I guess.
Oh, I guess production list. Oh, so previously the writers skipped the production list, so they did everything else, did everything in visit, and then skipped the production list, and now they visited, which means the production list has to include all the proper contents itself. That's perfect. Oh, I like that. Alright, so all the writers changed, and there's an in production list for literal strong and stuff like that, which skips the formatting. That's nice. Yeah, so all the writers are simpler, but if any if there's like another formatter, or what's the translator, or what's the word for these, if there's something in a third-party project, some other project, and it includes this, it'll keep working as before, because it just skips the new contents. I like that. And of course there's a bunch of stuff here. Well, basically what I do in the grammar snippet, but I guess it still inserts the indentation that we wanted to get rid of, the padding. So we'll still need the stuff that's in CPython right now. Oh well, good for Sphinx. I like this. I mean, Adam is great. It's great to have somebody who can change Sphinx on board. Yeah. Anyway, back to the documentation text. So there's indent and dedent. Let's say token value generated when isn't this documented already? It's indentation here. Indentation levels of consecutive lines are used to generate indent and dedent tokens. So I just want to link to the indentation section for the description. And I don't want to explain how indentation is done in the in the tokenizer. No, that's like the after f strings is the most complicated part. Let's look over this for some terminology. Leaving white space at the beginning of a logical line, right? At the beginning of each logical line, that's the important part, I guess.
Oh, cool. Token value used at the beginning of each logical line to indicate the start of a block. Nice.
Yeah.
You could say token value used at the beginning of each logical line. Of an and, oh, sorry, and, yeah, of an,
There we go. End. I guess I could combine these, but if I do something like this, I'll break the parser that looks for the data here, so it's probably better to to duplicate that.
That's very nice. That's yeah.
Yeah. Op. So I don't think op tokens are still generated.
Those are handwritten, I think. No?
Oh yeah, there's an op. Ah, right. So,
Is it an operator? No.
ah, there might be a bit of a lie that Tokenize is doing without the dash dash exact. Because we have all of these like greater and equal and so on.
Yes.
And I think the actual tokenizer gives you these, but then tokenize will change them. To simplify token stream handling, all operators and delimiter tokens are returned using the generic token.op token type. The exact type can be determined by checking the exact type property, blah blah blah, and so on. Okay, so we want to link here. Right, so let's add a link. Is that the syntax for hyperlinks or link targets? Where is? Oh, here it is. Oh, one colon at the end. Maybe call it tokenize exact type. Tokenize exact type. Or maybe just see the docs for the tokenize module. Right? Then we have type ignore. What is that used for? Do we have it in the grammar? No. I guess it's part of the type comments true. think this is it. Well, let's see. Type ignore. Lexer.c. A type ignore is a type ignore followed by the end of the token or anything ASCII and alphanumeric. Okay, what's a type comment? Does that have a similar? Huh. Okay. Right, so yeah. Let's put in the actual syntax that'll generate this. And you need type comments as true, is that right? Type comments, yeah, I guess this is the flag that tells the tokenizer if type comments are enabled, and then it looks whether there's an ignore, and it'll give you the corresponding token. Right. Soft keyword is a token value used to indicate a soft keyword. And I guess we want to link to that. Soft keywords. Soft keywords.
Oh wow. I just figured out how to make my view of your screen large enough that I can see it properly.
Oh,
Very
you
nice.
could also just tell me to increase the font size if I mean, I'm here for you. I don't see
Yeah,
your view.
if you have it up, if your screen has the real estate, then certainly maybe a little bit bigger would be nice.
Oh, well, you see I have this margin and I'm not supposed to go past that, so I can
Okay.
increase a little bit without
Yeah.
any problems, and I can go even more if I...
Well, that's great. In fact, it'll probably help the YouTube viewers as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier to go full screen on YouTube than on Discord, I guess.
Yeah, Discord always seems to waste a little space around the edges.
Alright, soft... How does that work? So I know type is a soft keyword, so if I try to tokenize type, it'll give me a name. How is soft keyword used? Oh, it's in the grammar?
Oh, double quotes.
Does the tokenizer use it? No. So it looks like soft keywords just show up as names. Oh, there's the Python generator. Adds a soft keyword.
Keywords and soft keywords are listed at the end of the parser definition.
Huh. Well, that's the soft keyword on soft keywords, not a soft keyword as a name. What is this? I guess that can be either a name or a key or used as a keyword. Soft keyword. Number string. Huh.
You know examples of like this one?
I don't see. I see the parser uses it specially. No, the parser is generated from the parser definition, from the grammar, and the grammar only uses it. The grammar only uses it in this invalid expression here for invalid syntax. Perhaps you forgot a comma. Huh.
Is it some kind of identifier that's
I mean, are there
not a name?
like does the tokenizer do anything with this? No types dot soft keyword. I don't know. I don't know what this actually does.
I can ask in general.
Not in general in docs. So.
No. I got. How about over in Python Discord, actually?
Yeah, I guess you could ask.
I'll ask in the esoteric.
Now I'm. I mean,
Esoteric Python.
I said Eric Python. I think we're fine just not documenting this for now.
Sure.
And we can move on to f-string start, which is the place where I want to say this indicates the start, the beginning, let's say, of an f string. Yes. And the f string should be linked to f strings. Apparently this is already a ref. Yeah, f strings. The same wording as for strings. Includes the prefix. There's always a prefix, and the opening quote. And I guess in the pep for f strings there are some details. Is the pep referenced here? Syntactic formalization of f strings, new tokens. So f string includes the f string prefix and the opening quotes. And then there's f string middle. Right. Something like that.
Inside, there you go. Yeah.
Enough string, right? And then like this f3f, that is called a format spec, or maybe conversion as well. Do we have conversion? Let's try how this would be tokenized. So if we have let's do this. This needs to be at the start. Oh, so there's exclamation, colon, and this, the format specification is also f string middle. I guess unless it contains.
Oh, I see. Well, or another f string.
Contains, yeah, it contains another replacement fields.
Oh, that's the word, replacement field. Okay.
Right. Including this would be L-brace
L brace, field name,
so
right brace, R brace. Inside of L brace and R brace.
well, the token stream is kind of a sequence, not a tree structure.
Oh, nice.
Something like that. And then f-string end is the end on a Venice string. And the token string contains the closing quote. And that's everything the token string has. I wonder if there's a note here saying that all of this is a CPython implementation detail.
Is it though? I guess.
Yeah, the PEP says it is.
Oh, well then, okay, then it is. Yeah, we should. Yeah. Should we link to the
Let's
PEP?
see. No, the PEP is not documentation. It's a change proposal.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Different lexers may have different implementation that may be more efficient. The following definitions will be used as part of public APIs of CPython, such as the tokenized module, and are also provided as reference. So yeah,
Okay. Isn't there a special reference? Isn't there a special directive?
yeah,
for
there is. It's
CPython?
called impl-detail, and it does need an indent, which does need a reformatting, and this is all implementation details.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if these are like implementation details. I guess not. tokenizer error. So what's an error token? So if I put exclamation here, exclamation is valid syntax now. Dollar? No, dollar is an operator. A dollar is an operator now.
It is? Okay.
Oh no, it's not.
Oh.
It's not. So that's just, you know, an unexpected string. But what if I don't close a string? Unterminated string literal. I get an error from tokenize. Exactly. So I guess this would be an implementation detail. Note that the tokenize module is that right? How does this? Token error. Maybe let's look at tokenize. .py. Does that have? No, that doesn't do anything with error tokens. It's not a tokenizer error per se, it's like invalid source.
Oh, right. Yeah, the input is broken. The problem with the input.
Wrong input. Something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, then we have encoding. First token returned by tokenize will be an encoding token. Isn't used by the C tokenizer but is needed for the tokenize module. I guess there's a lot of tokens that are the reverse of this. Stuff that's not used by tokenize but is used by the C tokenizer. And we should add these, right?
I think so. I mean, yeah, put implementation detail for that too.
Yeah. And do we say anything about the C tokenizer? No. And here? No. I wonder if we need that node. That note.
Well,
Like,
if there's a different behavior, a difference in behavior.
I mean, there's the C tokenizer doesn't really have any public API. You cannot see its output.
Well, then.
Right, so the only way to use the output of the C tokenizer is to feed it to the parser, or
Okay.
well, the parser calls the C tokenizer, right? So this doesn't really make sense as public documentation. So
So this is a curious definition of a soft keyword. I'll paste it in the chat. Where am I? There we go.
right, so a soft keyword is a keyword that you can use as an identifier. The context. Yeah, yes, that's a good definition of the soft keyword. But what I'm looking for is the soft underscore keyword token that's emitted by the tokenizer. I know that's used for I know that's used for soft keywords, presumably.
Yeah.
But I can't get the tokenizer to emit it. Like, so what happens if I do like type T? The type is a soft keyword used as a keyword here. Like if I type T. Oh,
I think you might stop the live stream. The live stream seems to have stopped.
Really?
Let me see. It's me?
Oh, on Discord, right. Sorry for that. Let's
okay.
restart it.
I mean, I can hear you fine. I just couldn't see anything. Okay, there we go.
So if I do type T equals, I don't know, int, type is used as a keyword here. If I do the same thing in the tokenizer, it just tokenizes type as a name, right?
Oh.
If I do delete X, del gets tokenized as name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so is there a token for keyword? No, there's no token for keyword. There's just name. And identifiers are, I hope, defined. Yeah, the following identifiers are used as reserved words or keywords. So identifier can be both a keyword and a non-keyword, like
Including keywords. Wait, identifiers or a name? Oh, I see keywords and non-keywords.
yeah. Keywords are also identifiers.
what we're struggling to do is find something that the tokenizer will characterize as a soft keyword.
Yes. And I don't see it. Like, what is a soft keyword? It might be that if we remove this,
What about match and case?
oh, those are soft. Oh, match and case. Okay.
Are they soft keywords?
Match, name. I mean, even actual keywords get tokenized as name. Let's remove that. Yeah, I don't know. I have a suspicion that the soft keyword token isn't actually needed. But, well, there it is. Leaving it undocumented is probably fine for now. And now we need to document nTokens anti-offset. Does the current documentation do that? Yeah, just nTokens anti-offset. Guess it's that. Ah, 66 of them. What's anti-offset? Who knows? What's exact token types? That gives you mapping to the from strings to the exact token type. That's fine. Where toc name is the dictionary with all the token names.
Okay.
nTokens is just sits at the end. This is so it's after encoding, right? So you have basically the list of all tokens, and nTokens sits at the end of that, which means it gives you the number of tokens in the language. And there's 68. So if you subtract 2 from these, you get 66, because nTokens and anti-offset aren't real tokens, I guess. What is that used for? nTokens. It's a define in the C language. So there's token.h, which does define end tokens and NT offset, and it done some is non-terminal magic with the NT offset. I guess anything from NT offset on is not a token but a grammar rule.
Oh.
And end tokens is not actually used for anything at all.
No? Okay.
So token names, yeah, it's used as a token name. That's it. It's not used for anything at all. It's a public constant, and that's about it.
You want to just say the number of tokens, comma, public constant?
I don't know if I just want to leave it undocumented. I don't know what the public use for this was.
Oh. Well,
The
I guess.
current documentation says nothing at all about this.
Yeah, let's leave it nothing. Yeah.
But that's because it's auto-generated from the list of tokens, right? No, it's not. That ends with error token. So the tokens file ends with error token, and then there's encoding, which is removed by the previous script. Yeah, so these are added by hand. Let's not touch them. I guess this would be the token value that indicates the number of tokens, and it's used for backwards compatibility only or something like that. Anyway, I just looked at the clock and I see we're out of time, so I will commit this.
Today was a really good session.
Thanks. So I'll put it on GitHub. Hopefully there's no pull request open from that branch. And we can continue next week. Meanwhile,
Sure.
if I figure out what end tokens is actually used for, I can use that information. Right.